Where do we put our pain? How do we carry our grief? How do we wear that in our day to day? These are the questions Hamnet, the latest film from Chloe Zhao, is attempting to navigate. I saw this at the Chicago International Film Festival. It was hotly anticipated on my end, so let's discuss. Hamnet is the story between William Shakespeare and his wife Agnes and their initial love, as well as the loss of their son that inspired the creation of Shakespeare's masterpiece, Hamlet. This is a movie that envelops you in the weight of unbearable grief before letting the light in to touch your face. I saw this with a couple friends and we were passing tissues up and down the line, and it was just so heart-wrenching. I thought I was going to pass out. Like, I couldn't breathe. I was crying so hard. But it doesn't leave you feeling empty necessarily. And I think that's the crux of the whole story, honestly. It is this celebration of love and this acknowledgement of loss and how we keep the love flowing and keep our hearts open in the face of such loss. Chloe Zhao's restrained direction is amazing here. I think it allows everything to sink in so thoroughly. She does these very simple tracking shots that kind of establish the dynamic of where we're at, the people in the home, etc. And she repeats them in ways that are slightly altered, that give us the weight of what is maybe missing or what has changed. And I think that's so great. It's such a simple and wordless way of explaining and developing the story and the dynamics. I think because it's so restrained, it really allows the performances to shine through. I think that is the highlight. This is very much a performance-led movie. There's no frill, there's no flash, but Jessie Buckley and Paul Mescal are next level here. I think both are an absolute tour de force in wildly different ways. Jessie Buckley is running the emotional gamut here. She's going very, very big, and I was concerned maybe that this kind of role would just kind of stay one note, but I think she's allowed to do such beautiful things in the quiet, and I think that's when her performance is at its absolute best, honestly. She just lights up the screen in a profound way, and I love what Paul Mescal brought to the character of Shakespeare and this man's inability to communicate outside of his work. He really struggles to articulate his feelings and his emotions when it's not in the context of his writing. Meanwhile, Mr. Jacoby Jupe, he plays Hamnet. He gives a performance well beyond his years with such limited screen time, but he lingers all over this film. I think what he is doing is so effective at getting you invested in this young man, and it leaves such a punch when it needs to. I couldn't believe that someone this young was diving into these emotional depths. It's insane. The production design is insane. Fiona Crombie did a great job, specifically with the recreation of the old Globe. It's stunning. It feels spot on. I just loved the way nature has such a big presence in this. I think there is this like beautiful feminine connection to Mother Nature, and it has a character of its own. There is like one tree in particular that we often visit, and that has so much character. There are these shots within the roots of the tree that like resemble a womb. It's just so smart the way it visually is tying into the themes of motherhood. I just think Chloe Zhao and Fiona Crombie and cinematographer Lucas Sal, they're all like working really well to give us this visual language, give us these symbols within the natural context to kind of tie it all together thematically. I loved it. The opening shot will never leave my brain. I think it's gorgeous. It's so beautiful, and I think it succinctly really conveys a lot of what this film is getting at. I'm never going to hear the To Be or Not To Be monologue the same. Noah Jupe's delivery of it and Paul Mescal's delivery of it like really just burrowed deep in my chest. It really put like this ache in there. I feel like we're getting a lot of movies this year in particular that talk about the importance of art and the way art allows us to process and move through things and to heal. And I love how this movie portrays that. I'm not going to give too much away, but the way it culminates, the way that message lands is just so moving. There is no one correct way to grieve and to hold it. Some wear it on their sleeve and want it to be felt by everyone and everywhere and can't help but feel it with everyone and everywhere. And some people have to put it elsewhere. And the power of art specifically is when you place something in it, like grief, it can ripple out and impact others in a profound way. Maybe not the exact same way, but in a way that is impactful and meaningful. Chloe Zhao beautifully manages to capture the power of art and how it can speak to people. And, you know, they don't know that experience, but it doesn't matter because, like, once the art is out there, it in a way is no longer yours, becomes all of ours. I loved this film so much. I was worried it maybe wouldn't live up to the hype. I think it sags a little bit energetically in the middle. I won't say like where, but it does dip. But that ending is so cathartic and perfect. I think it works. I think that energy dip works because it builds to something else. I just loved this. I'm not going to let people turn it into quote unquote the award season villain like they want. I think it's absolutely worthy of all the praise it's getting. It's such a lovely, small, quiet film. I think we're in a time of great grief and intense feelings all around. And I think it is such a testament to holding your grief. And I think this movie is so empowering in the way that it encourages you to hold your big feelings in whatever way works conducively for you. And I also love that, again, in this day and age where expression is being suppressed, it really supports putting it into art, putting art out into the world and allowing it to ripple through society. I got very woo-woo at the end there. I love this movie. It feels weird to say I can't wait to see it again because it is so devastating, but I can't wait to see it again. I gave it 5 stars. It is my second 5-star film of the year. I can't stop thinking about it. I will not stop thinking about it. And I highly encourage you to see it for a good cry. Thank you so much for tuning into this review. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, follow me everywhere, and stay tuned all award season long. We're going to be talking about this movie and many others that I just reviewed on the channel, so don't miss that. And until next time, bye!